Boston, a city where intellect, innovation, and capital collide, where laboratories hum with the sound of machines decoding the human brain. Amid that quiet storm of neuroscience and finance, one company was preparing to rewrite the boundaries of medicine itself. Its name, Praxis Precision Medicines. Praxis wasn't just another biotech firm chasing a trend. Its founders believed that every neurological and psychiatric disorder could ultimately be traced back to a single source, an electrical imbalance in the brain. In a healthy brain, billions of neurons communicate through electrical impulses that oscillate between excitation and inhibition. But when that delicate equilibrium breaks, the consequences ripple across the body: tremors, seizures, mood disorders, and cognitive decline. Praxis's mission was to restore that balance, not by suppressing symptoms, but by recalibrating the neural rhythm itself. The company's journey began in 2015 when a group of neuroscientists and geneticists founded Praxis on a radical idea that precision medicine could treat the brain the same way oncology treats cancer, by identifying the exact molecular switch that goes wrong and turning it back on. Their early pipeline was ambitious: ulixacaltamide, a selective T-type calcium channel modulator for essential tremor; vormatrigine, targeting focal epilepsy; and relutrigine, designed for developmental and epileptic encephalopathies, rare, often fatal genetic seizure disorders in children. Each compound sought to modulate neuronal firing itself, a level of control few companies had ever achieved. If successful, Praxis would pioneer a new era in neurotherapeutics, the era of electrical precision medicine. But science, as investors know, has little mercy for visionaries. Praxis went public, raised capital, and began phase 3 trials. But year after year, it posted widening losses and no revenue. By 2023, the firm's share price had plummeted. Then came a drastic move: a 1-for-15 reverse stock split, a restructuring tactic used when a stock falls so low it risks delisting. Typically, such a decision signals distress. Investors flee, liquidity vanishes, and most companies quietly fade. But Praxis defied convention. Instead of downsizing, it doubled down. The company pressed forward with its pivotal phase 3 trial for ulixacaltamide, even as analysts predicted collapse. Then came February 2025. The Independent Data Monitoring Committee issued its interim report, "No efficacy." In the world of clinical trials, those two words are the equivalent of a death sentence. The standard response is immediate termination to conserve cash. But Praxis chose the unthinkable. It refused to stop. The company announced it would continue the trial. Investors were stunned. Why continue a failed study? Was this recklessness, or did Praxis see something in the data that no one else did? Over the following months, the market lost interest. The company's name all but disappeared from headlines. Yet behind closed doors, strange things began to happen. Among trial participants, subtle but undeniable improvements emerged. Some patients reported their hands shaking less. Others said they could once again perform small tasks, tying shoelaces, holding a cup of coffee steady. The dataset grew, and quietly, the line of progress began to bend upward. Then came the second surprise. Another Praxis compound, vormatrigine, completed its trial in patients with focal epilepsy. The results were staggering. Seizure frequency dropped by an average of 56%, and in a subset of patients, seizures disappeared entirely for 28 days straight. In epilepsy research, this level of reduction is almost unheard of. The medical community began whispering, "best in disease," and yet, silence. The stock price barely moved. Normally, such results ignite a rally, sometimes doubling or tripling valuation overnight. But not here. It was as though the market deliberately chose not to see. By July 2025, Praxis made another announcement. Its third drug, relutrigine, received breakthrough therapy designation from the US FDA. This distinction is extremely rare. It's granted only to drugs that show compelling evidence of substantial improvement over existing therapies. It meant that relutrigine might change the future for children suffering from severe epileptic encephalopathies. Still, the market's reaction was muted. The share price barely flickered. It was as though someone or something was holding the company's story in suspension. And then came October 2025. After markets closed, Praxis issued a press release that shattered the silence. Both pivotal phase 3 trials of ulixacaltamide had succeeded. The company's statement read like a redemption arc. patients receiving the drug saw an average 4.3-point improvement in their quality of life score. The statistical significance was undeniable. The placebo group's response barely reached a third of that. This wasn't a marginal win, it was a decisive one. By the next morning, Praxis stock had soared 180%. The company that everyone had dismissed as finished was suddenly the most talked about biotech on the Nasdaq. But even success breeds questions. Praxis did not release full patient-level data. No raw numbers, no long-term efficacy updates, no safety metrics. Even its FDA filing timeline was curiously vague, only that it would come sometime in 2026. Then, analysts spotted a single line in the company's quarterly report that deepened the mystery: cash and investments between $400 million and $470 million. That figure was nearly double the previous quarters, and yet there was no record of a public offering, no large partnership, no disclosed licensing deal. Where had the money come from? In normal biotech operations, a company of Praxis's size could only secure that level of funding through a major transaction. But Praxis had done nothing of the sort. Still, it confidently stated it was fully funded through 2028. To industry veterans, this was nearly impossible without some hidden mechanism. Perhaps a private placement, perhaps an undisclosed strategic investor, or perhaps something even more intricate. At this point, two theories emerged among investors. The first, Praxis had achieved a genuine, unexpected scientific breakthrough that justified its comeback. The second, the entire sequence, from the no efficacy announcement to the market's eerie silence to the sudden rebound, was part of a larger, orchestrated design. A market choreography so deliberate it blurred the line between discovery and manipulation. Today, Praxis Precision Medicines is preparing to submit its new drug application for ulixacaltamide. If approved, it could become the first new treatment for essential tremor in decades, potentially redefining the standard of care. Meanwhile, vormatrigine and relutrigine continue progressing through trials, positioning Praxis as a frontrunner in next-generation neurotherapeutics. But the shadow of uncertainty remains. Is Praxis a case study in scientific resilience or a masterclass in market psychology? Was the miracle of reversal born from data or from design? Praxis Precision Medicines claims to restore balance in the brain, yet its story has thrown the market itself off balance. This is not just a story of neurons and molecules, but of timing, trust, and the quiet calculations that move billions of dollars. The data tells one story, the silence tells another. And somewhere between the two lies a truth that no one has yet uncovered. Before we close, ValueStir invites you to share your thoughts. If there are public, private, or upcoming stocks or even coins that you believe deserve deeper investigation, leave their names in the comments. Your insights and observations help shape the next analysis we bring to this channel. And to all of you who watch, subscribe, like, comment, and share our videos, thank you. Your continued engagement fuels our research and helps us bring sharper, more revealing stories to light. This was ValueStir.